IPEN, the basis or the foundation, came from attending the first World Indigenous Cancer Conference that was held in Brisbane, Australia, and under the leadership of Gail Garvey, who's an Aboriginal woman. And while attending the conference, we had American Indian, Alaska Native, Indigenous people from the United States attending the conference and talking to these emerging professionals and listening to how they talked. They would say things like, I had no idea how similar our populations are, even though we're so far apart. And part of that is because New Zealand, Australia, Canada, the United States, we have experienced a lot of colonialism that has led to systemic racism and other types of issues that interfere with having access to clinical trials, to state-of-the-art care, to many other resources. I got involved with AONN Plus and thought, local navigation networks. We need something that provides more resources and support for Indigenous people, but not just in the United States. There's no reason for it to be limited to the United States. And so I asked Sharon Gentry if we could consider a local navigation network, local meaning Mother Earth, so it's global. And she said, of course, go right ahead. Which we have. So it's been very interesting. We have about 4 webinars a year. Once each year, we do something that really talks about breakthroughs in patient navigation. We'll share some unique features, resources, and concepts. We were talking with others on how we have seen our navigation program grow. And they were saying, we want to start one. In particular, Australia, they have Aboriginal liaison outreach people, and they're wonderful. And the challenges they have and the lack of resources that they have is much the same as what we see in New Zealand and in Canada, especially the northern part of Canada. We don't have the same resources that other people in what basically these are 4 very rich countries. And this is ridiculous that Indigenous people do not have access to quality care. With the patient navigators, which in our program we call them Native Sisters and Native Brothers, it's night and day. What a difference. We have found when we talk about clinical trials, the opportunities for clinical trials, which in our case, if our patients are in a clinical trial, they are much more likely to get quality care. So it's very important. Well, if a navigator works with them, they're more inclined to come to where the official clinical trial recruiter is, frequently an oncology nurse, but not always, and they develop a relationship. So the navigator is able to open up the door and get access to better care and better resources for the patients, regardless of which continent they're on. But we've had queries from South America, from Brazil, from Argentina, in particular those countries, but also from Africa, from India, because there are Indigenous communities on all continents, and anybody is welcome to take part. There's no fee. They send me an email, and I put them on the list. That's it. Our cultures are so different from one another, and it's why you need a local, and frequently we say we're oncology patient navigators who are cultural navigators. And that's what many of the people in IPEN on, whether they're Indigenous or not, they're respectful of the local cultures. And that's essential for them to be successful.